Hey everyone, it's Nick from Nick's Crossing. Welcome back to the train room for a review today. Just picked up this really cool Alco RS-27 from MTH, so here we go. All aboard. Alright guys, so I was out rail fanning one day, and this thing was tied to my hip, and waiting for a train, I went on the almighty eBay app, which is so dangerous because if I go on the eBay app, trains happen, and I ended up buying my Atlantic B&O that I ran on the channel and did a review on, and I looked up this engine right here because I haven't seen a lot of Penn Central stuff in O scale. You guys in the smaller gauges, HO and N scale, you guys have it lucky because there's a lot available in HO and N scale and Penn Central. But I saw this RS-27, I was like, I'll give it a good home. It was going for an excellent price. The seller actually lowered the price on eBay. It was like $230 or so with shipping, and shipping prices are out of this world right now because of everything going on. So I ended up picking up this engine for like $230 on eBay, and it arrived in 2 days. They did rush 2-day shipping. It shipped locally, which was fantastic. So yeah, I got a brand new to me, new old stock Alco, and this thing looks like it ran like zero time at all. It's probably sat on a shelf somewhere or in the box in someone's basement. It did have a funk in the box, but everything was there. It even had the extra snowplow, traction tires, all the packaging was there, even the packaging that protects the handrail. So really cool to the seller. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's get into this review. Alright guys, so some backstory. So the Alco RS-27, 27 were produced by Alco, surprise, from 1959 to 1962. They were considered like a road switcher. I believe that's what the RS stands for. They would later be replaced by the C424 series, also known as the Century series. The other specification I saw is called a DL640, so I thought that was pretty cool. They're diesel-electric locomotives with, I believe, 2,400 horsepower. They have a 16-cylinder turbocharged 4-stroke diesel. So that's where you get that whirling sound, all that fun smoke whenever you see an Alco take off. Yeah, pretty awesome. 1,000 RPM. So you're hearing that engine crank up, get the amps going, then they start to move with all the smoke. It is just so much fun to see Alcos move. And my favorite place to watch Alcos, probably the DL up at Steamtown. Just seeing those, the Delaware Lackawanna, take off out of there, covering the whole parking lot in smoke. It is awesome. So these locomotives go all the way back to the Pennsylvania Railroad era. Here's some really cool pictures of her right here. And as you can see, my model does not have the antenna that the Pennsylvania would have used, and later on converted to Penn Central during the merge, and then eventually to Conrail. I could not find 2404 in Conrail. It would just say CR and then Conrail on the side. Unfortunately, I just could not find those images. But I am aware, I know a lot of people are not fans of the Penn Central. It does kind of have a, I don't know, it's kind of like the end of the golden age of railroading in a way, because you have all these great, fantastic Class 1s, the Pennsylvania, the New York Central, and the Pennsylvania. Did I say Pennsylvania twice? I'm a Pennsylvania fan. But yeah, so you have all these great railroads that came together and they merged. I believe it was a federally forced merge because of funding and just poor track maintenance, logistics, all of that. And you kind of saw the downfall of the railroad marketing. I know a lot of guys will say the Interstate Commerce Commission, with the ability to build more roads and trucking lines, also kind of sparked the merge and all of that. So yeah, there's a lot of history with that, but I enjoy all trains, guys. I'm not going to judge anything. And this engine has a cool history being part of the Pennsylvania Railroad. Now guys, out of all 27 locomotives, this is where they went. So 5 stayed with Alco. They're called the demonstrator models, which I thought was kind of cool. We have 4 with the Chicago and Northwestern Railway, 1 with the Green Bay Western Railway. Pennsylvania Railroad had all 15. And Sioux Line, we did a review on my Sioux Line NW2. They only had 2. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Now the Pennsylvania Railroad numbered theirs 2400 through 2414. So she's correctly numbered and everything. That is just awesome. So let's get her trackside. We can go through some of the details, fire her up. This engine has a great sounding horn, and it could probably wake the dead. It's so loud. It has this crazy whirl. It's an Alco. So let's get her on the tracks. Alright guys, so 2404 is on the tracks, and this Alco has some weight to her, and it's a premier piece, so a lot of it is die-cast weight. So like the fuel cell, the front and rear trucks are also die-cast, but everything down here from the basically the metal frame and down is all metal, which is fantastic. The shell is like an ABS plastic. It's really detailed, lots of stamp detail in there. And up top, the horn is metal. I'd hate to step on this thing. It'd be like a Lego times 100 right there. So everything else on here is metal. So all your handrails, even the rear, I guess you would call it handrail, front handrails are all metal. The couplers are also die-cast with the electro coupler feature. So if you play around with the remote or the conventional transformer, the couplers should throw, and it does the sound effect as well, which is fantastic. Down here, lots of brake details. So you can actually see a brake shoe really close to the wheel there, just like the real Alco would have. It's fantastic. And the logo is painted on. It's not like a decal it's going to rip off or anything like that. If anything, it'll get some natural weathering if it derails. In the front, we actually have lighted number boards, and we also have these little red LEDs. They're kind of hard to see, but these also light up. And then in the rear, we also have another headlight back here, and we also have a headlight up front. It's all directional lighting, so no matter where you're going, the path will be lit. Before I fire up, this is a Proto Sound 1, so when you fire up a Proto Sound 1, you're either going to hear 2 click sounds or 2 bell rings, which shows that the engine is properly starting up. Now this locomotive needs a new battery, so these use an 8.4 or 8.5 volt rechargeable battery. You can get the MTH green batteries. Do not use the white ones. Those are getting very old. But the green battery is their newer battery. Or you can go get an aftermarket battery. Guys, these are some of the freight yard sounds you'll be hearing. It's kind of at random, but the engine stopped. And it's actually talking back and forth. It's really cool. And as you can hear right there, there's an air pump kicking in, compressor. Alright guys, so I was trying to get the run session started, and I did some test laps around the layout here, and I heard a clicking sound from the rear axle, so I opened it up. It was only 4 screws. These locomotives were built pretty simple. So yeah, a little Phillips head screwdriver, 4 screws out. And I noticed that the motor assembly was not properly mounted. There's like 2 more screws that hold the worm gear assembly, the bearing in there. So I screwed those in, and everything is nice and tight. And while I was in there, I was like, let's replace that battery. So I took out the old one right here. It's actually starting to poof out a little bit. That's not a good sign. So I replaced it with the recommended modern day MTH green battery replacements. But here we go guys, in Penn Central fashion, all aboard. everyone, so that's going to conclude this review today on the newly acquired Penn Central RS-27 from MTH Protosound 1 line. I'm assuming mid-90s on this one. I have the pamphlet in the box, but the box is way downstairs. I got it home, had to open it up, and I ran it upstairs to the train layout to fire her up. But she has a really cool engine. It's an engine lost in time, but will forever be alive up here in the Nix Crossing studio. So I'm really happy to have this piece. And in the future, I do look forward to getting more Penn Central items, or even some more overstamp stuff, PC Conrail thrown in there. I do have the whole set of overstamp cars. I'll probably end up running those with this locomotive just for fun, and also have the Williams caboose that you guys saw going around. This is a really cool piece, and yeah, just having fun with all these different road names and such, and it's all part of the hobby, just seeing what you like, mixing and matching. It's all good. It's all about having fun running trains. But anyways, if you guys are new to the channel, always consider subscribing. Giving the video one of these really helps out. And also, love reading your guys' comments. Really means a lot to me that you guys are responding and talking back and forth. It's a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, happy railroading, and we'll see you next time. See you guys.